All right, traders, today we're going to be going over the most important key level for AMC stock. It is currently down a little bit in after hours, approaching this key level. So guys, it's either going to be make it or break it for this stock for the short term being. Keep in mind, this is a short term day and swing trading price action analysis. This is not going to be discussing the long term of AMC stock's price. I'm well aware there's a lot of investors and there's a lot of people playing this as a long term swing trade. So just keep in mind, this is going to be a short term price action analysis video for day traders and for short-term swing traders. And what this is going to be going over is it's going to be going over how AMC stock is going to be reacting to the key level. If we see a bullish reaction towards this key level, I think the price is going to be heading back up towards 40.45 for the short-term being. Now, if we see a negative reaction towards the key level, I think it's going to be heading towards $26 a share for the short-term being. Now, let's get into how to confirm this reaction, how to identify whether to be long bias or short biased for the short term being on AMC stock, guys. Let's get right into this trading price action. So what we're going to be using in terms of this key technical strategy is going to be the gap method. So what I wanted to point out is $32.04 is a key level. Why is this a key level? Many reasons, but in terms of the main one from this technical view is AMC stock had a massive gap up on June 2nd. It gapped up from $32.04. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a price level at $32.04. And that red line represents, a gap waiting to fill. And these white lines that you see on my chart, this is a daily chart. Each one of these candlesticks represents 1 day's worth of price action. These white lines represent the previous day's closing price, right? So there's a gap that's waiting to fill at $32.04. It is about to fill that gap as it is slightly down in after hours. And the point I'm trying to make here is this $32.04 level is a key gap level. There's a gap that's waiting to fill. What you need to keep in mind is if this level holds, there's huge upside potential, because you have to keep in mind this stock went from 32.04 to 72.62 in one single day. Now, it's not going to be able to make that crazy move in such a short term being like it previously did due to the lack of volume. However, the volume is starting to peak back up. And what you have to keep in mind is this is a key price level with huge upside potential. Now, here's what you also need to think about. If this key level fails to hold and it fails to turn into support, it is going to get crushed ideally towards $26. So here's what you need to be paying attention to in terms of the short-term price action. This is what you want to look for. AMC stock right now is trending down. Once it hits 32.04, if you see it consolidate, if you see it starting to bounce, forming bullish confirmations, whatever it is you look for, whatever indicators you're using, bullish candlesticks, etc., etc. If it is holding, if it's turning into a support level, the bulls are going to take control and the stock is going to start to spike towards $40 to $45 a share for the short term being. That is your range. Now, this is the flip side. If this key level turns into a resistance level, so let's say AMC stock cracks below 32.04, wait for it to bounce. If the high of that bounce is towards 32.04, or say it's forming a lower high, lower than that, then that's bearish and the bears are going to take control. And then where's the price going to be heading towards there? That next white line, which is right here at $26.04. You have another gap waiting to fill at $26.12, So what I'm trying to explain to you is this is a key level that offers huge upside or downside potential. In terms of upside potential, you can just see the stock offers huge upside potential whenever it trades. Just to give you some other examples, right here went from a low of $37, bounced all the way back up to $60. Right here went to a low towards $39, bounced all the way back up to $64. So we're about to see a crazy move in AMC stock as it is now at this key level. And it's either make it or break it, guys. Like this is literally going to be it. It's going to get extremely volatile. And if it fails to hold this level, things will get ugly for the short term being. And I do think it's going to start to fill the gap below towards $26 if it turns that into a resistance level. So guys, that in terms of, that's the simplicity of the strategy, and that's what you're going to want to be looking for. So I would wait to see how it reacts towards this key level. You see a bullish reaction, then for the short term being, you can day trade or you can swing trade, and that's going to be pushing back up towards $40, $45. Now, if you see that negative reaction, then you could look to get a short or you can look to get some puts, and that's going to be heading back towards $26 a share. Just to give you some perspective, I just want to kind of compare the two and just show you how well this strategy works. It's a key level, guys. Like just pay attention to SPCE. So SPCE, massive run up, right? And you can see right here, it has a massive gap up. Right here, it closed at $40, gapped all the way up, got to a high of 57.29. Now watch what happens when it fills this gap, right? So let's draw, same exact strategy that we're literally using on AMC stock, right? So you have this gap to fill at $40.26. Once it turns 40.26 into a resistance level, what happens? You have a massive move to the downside and it gets crushed. So in terms of measuring price action, this is what you want to look for. AMC stock literally went from $46 to a low of 33, towards $33 in just three single days. It crashed literally 13 points. So in terms of this move for the short term being, we're looking at around, 10 to 12 points for the short term being, and it's going to be like a one-sided move. So just pay attention towards that key reaction, guys. I'm telling you, these gap levels are key. These previous closing prices, just literally look how it's reacted. Closes that gap right there, and it turns it into resistance level, starts to get crushed. Almost closes this gap right here, turns it into resistance level, starts to get crushed. And then today, literally turns it into a resistance level, high of day at the previous closing price, gets absolutely crushed. So that's what you want to look for on AMC stock, guys. It's about understanding how price action and how charts work. It's just understanding that. Again, this isn't for long-term investors. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash the like button. And just understand, 3204 is the key level. If it turns into a support level for the short-term being, I'm long biased, I'm bullish. If it turns into a resistance level for the short-term being, I'm bearish. And in terms of, bullish, then it would push back towards 40.45. In terms of bearish, it would go fill this gap towards 26. Then we would look to reuse the strategy. Now, it hasn't reacted yet. In preparation, am I bullish or bearish? In preparation, personally, I'm pretty bearish, but it doesn't matter beforehand whether I'm bullish or bearish. What matters is how the stock reacts towards that key price level. Bullish reaction or bearish reaction. The beauty of this strategy is it offers such huge upside or downside potential, and you're getting in at the key trend reversal price level, meaning you can take a small loss, switch sides, make it all back 3-4 times more than what you lost. That's the beauty of it, guys. Trading at the key price levels that offer huge upside or downside potential. And if you're wrong about the initial reaction, you get stopped out, and then you could look to switch sides. So that's the beauty of it, guys. But in terms of beforehand, why I am kind of short biased, this chart looks exactly like SPCE, and AMC is really on that. It's really on that down tier right now, and these daily candles look very bearish for the short term being. But in terms of this chart, it's literally looking just like SPCE, and you could just see, it just keeps turning these previous closing price levels into resistance levels. Like if you just compare the two, very similar chart, very similar price action. So unfortunately, for bulls, I do think some downside is headed. But like I said, this is just short-term price action analysis for traders and swing traders. So yeah, guys, that's my update on AMC stock.